You'll notice that I've been kind of installing things in whatever order I want. Or maybe not. It might seem like I'm doing a specific order. That's kind of intended. Like, some of these things I get after I do something else. Like I get iTerm and then I do ZSH, then I do antigen and some other stuff. If you're unfamiliar with antigen and the stuff that I set up with it, basically it's just something that makes it easier to install some of this stuff. So if you look here, it's installing the Git bundle and the warp drive and shrink path. These are things that... Let me see here. Let me just go ahead and do something real quick. Actually, let's just install Go, and then I can show you what some of this stuff does if I go get something and then I can go to its directory. So let's go install Go. But what I was just trying to go though get at it originally before I jump into this, is that with all of these, I'm kind of just installing them in the order of as I need them. And that's kind of why you're seeing me jump all over the place, because that file is not necessarily in the right order. So I want to do the installer for Go. I'm just going to get the package here. I'm just going to go ahead and just run through this and just let it do everything for me. And then if all goes well, we'll just have Go. So I'm going to wait till this is done, and then we'll... Alright, close that. Move the download to the trash. Alright, so apparently there's no Go set up there, so... Alright, so I need to add this to my path environment. I was thinking I already had that there, but apparently not. Oh, I don't have a Go path set, so... and we'll do something like export path equals... we'll do this. And I gotta refresh this, so source boot... Wow, I can't type today. That's the same as doing this. So now when I write Go, I've got a Go version. Awesome. I'm not sure why I'm not seeing it on the right-hand side. Maybe it's only showing up on a certain spot. I'll have to look at that in a bit. So I want to... Alright, no such directory. Oh, I want to make dir-p users John Go. I don't know why I put the tilde up top. Now I'm going to cd into here, and this is my Go path. You don't necessarily need this anymore, but let's see if we can just go get something. GitHub.com/John Calhoun /Gopher size, or I think it's /Gopher sizes. What do we have here? Let's get the quiz. And let's clone this. So I'm going to make dir, I think I need source, github.com/Gopher sizes /CY adventure. And I'm going to go in there. Although I probably wanted to git clone. Oh, that's fine. I didn't just choose her. So I'm cloning the quiz one. I don't know if I don't have any of the SSH keys set up. So you need to do SSH keys. I'm just going to go ahead and just download a zip though. I have SSH keys as part of my setup, but honestly, I'll show you how to, the steps to take to do that, but I'm not going to go ahead and do that for us. I need to download a specific branch though. I want the solution part 2, and I'm going to download the zip. All right, so let me open this, paste this in here, and I'm going to rename this to quiz. And now if I cd into quiz, oh, you'll see in the right-hand side now we now have a Go version 1.12 or 1.12.3. I can go run main.go. So you can see this is running. It's running the Go code. At some point here, I don't remember what the default timer is, but at some point it's going to expire because that's just part of the exercise. or the timer's going to run. That's what I mean. So we have this Go running, and what I was trying to show you before with some of these antigen things is shrink path here is the thing that's reducing this path here a little bit. So it's kind of making all these paths so they're not quite as long as they'd normally be. And I tend to do that because you can sort of customize it however you want. I don't remember where I did that. It's right here, the shortened directory length. I have it set to 3 because usually 3 characters is enough for me to figure out where I am, but I don't want this path being like massive. So if I had this like at 6 or something, you'll see that the path here starts to look a little bit bigger. And if you don't shrink it at all, like let's just say you set it to 111 so it doesn't do that, it starts to get bigger and bigger as you go. And this isn't so bad when you're using your whole screen like I am now. Where it becomes problematic is if I were to split vertically, and then I were to take this, if I could ever grab it, and drag it, like let's say that's the size that I'm using for my cast whenever I'm recording stuff. And then I set this as cast, you'll see that this gets really big. I don't really have a lot of space here to work with as much, but taking this down to like 3, it shrinks it up a little bit. It's not a ton, but it helps some. And this is generally enough information for me that it's fine. So you can sort of customize that however you want. I don't remember, maybe that's how I was getting my bash completion before. Maybe that's why my file did not have any of this stuff. I don't remember. I'm not really going to mess around with it too much. Well, I don't know. I don't want to get too involved. Yeah, I don't think that's even working right. Cannot find get alias command. I'll have to dig into the git stuff later. I really don't know why it's all screwed up, and it's not something I want to mess with, so. But that's sort of what we're doing with a lot of this stuff is we're just running them that way. And maybe I just don't want any of those. Maybe that's my bigger issue. Nope, it's still just being buggy as can be. Fun times. Anyway, so some of these are here. You can mess around with them if you want. You can look at these and see what they're doing. You'll see here that I'm eventually going to throw in a couple others, or potentially throw in some others. Where is it? There's one down here, and sorry about the language, but it's called the fuck. Basically, whenever we get to some of these, they help with bash mistakes. They're different commands that sort of just make things a little bit nicer. But these ones aren't commands like this that we're going to be installing separately. These are ones that we can install with Antigen. And warp drive is one where instead of cding someplace, you can actually add directories. So let's say I wanted to warp drive add. We're going to say, so this is going to add the current working directory to your warp points. So I might say go/gopher sizes, something like that. And I can do warp drive list. So I have go/gopher sizes, and that's going to automatically get me to this directory. So if I was in like the home directory, I could do warp drive go gopher sizes, and it takes me to that directory. So that's what warp drive, that's what I use it for. And I know this video has kind of covered a lot of stuff now, but it's just like a nice quick way to jump around to different directories. So I find myself using it because I have a bunch of common directories I use. Like I'll have a couple different Go directories. I'll have different directories where I store my notes and stuff like that whenever I'm working on new new courses. I'll have other directories where I maybe store all of my video files and stuff like that. So this is just going to make it easier to jump around and add those over time. And that's the ones that I'm going to generally want to try to keep. And if you're working on projects, like let's say you're not using your Go paths, but you have projects all over the place, I find this can be really awesome that you can just be like, project 1, and it'll just jump to that project directory. So that's why I like it. Okay, I've done way too much in this video, but we have installed Go, so I'm going to check that. And Chrome is set up. I'll go through some of the ScreenFlow stuff in the next video. Feel free to skip it if you want. It's probably not going to pertain to most of you.